Hi, I'm Clark on Temptress. You saw from my last little video that I've been hit by a cyber attack. I'm going to go into details because I've been asked to go into details and explain this to you and hopefully keep other people from having the same attack happen to them. This attack is aimed at influencers. YouTube probably, but maybe other influencers. It boils down to an offer that was looking like all the other offers I get all the time, except maybe a little too good to be true. And in the process of pursuing, just looking into it, I opened myself up. So I'm going to tell the story, and this might not be for everybody. This is certainly not about sailing, but it's about the world we live in and what I've gone through. Also, if you've emailed me on the Emily and Clark's Adventure at gmail.com address, your emails are in somebody else's hands. So act appropriately. Definitely don't believe anything that comes from that account. I won't use that account if, well, I can't get it back. There's no way to get it back. But if I did get it back, I will never use it. I'll be using the Sailing Temptress account, which is the new Gmail account for this channel. So here's what happened. I got, as I get all the time, a request to put a product placement in a video. Now, I don't do a lot of that. I don't like the idea of doing that. I do it for batteries, you know, because it's kind of what the channel's about. But other things, you know, I just throw them away. This particular one was so ridiculous. If you watch my other videos, either the one like on how to carbonate your own water, why you wouldn't buy seltzer water on a boat anyway, or maybe the how to retire young, and I keep saying don't buy stupid things. You know, use tap water. If you're in a restaurant, their water is fine, and if it isn't fine, why the heck are you eating in the restaurant? Because they cook with that water. You know, I've said these things in the past, so I thought it was a joke. And I actually wrote them back saying, have you watched my channel? This is a total joke. I won't do it. I should have just ignored it. Well, the second email came, and yeah, it definitely was an automated email just based on the fact that I had written back. And it had a link to a zip file with a bunch of things in it. I'll get to in a minute. That's how they got in. And it had, for offer for a little more money than I'm usually offered, but not ridiculous, I guess. And again, I just ignored it. But I talked to my friends because I thought it was so ridiculous. And two friends that I trust their opinion on both said, do it. We like Pellegrino water. I was really resistant because I make my own bubbly water if I want bubbly water. And then I thought about it, and I thought, well, maybe in one of my adventure logs, you know, where I just talk like this, maybe if I mark the commercials off so YouTube wouldn't put commercials on it, and then I drank a Pellegrino water, you know, while I'm doing the video, maybe that would work out okay. And, you know, give you guys the option and ask your all opinion. Do you want me to do like a product placement in lieu of YouTube commercials? I can't not do YouTube commercials for everything because simply YouTube will not promote my videos if I don't put commercials in them. But I don't know. It seemed like a thing to do. So I thought about it. And my trip to Europe got postponed. My friend in Europe got sick and he's going to take some more time to get over it. So I got time. So one evening, late at night, actually, after my whole day was installing a new hot water heater in the house, it just went bad. And that's, you know, it's a tiring day. So my defenses were down, let's say. I downloaded the zip file and I started looking at it. And, you know, it seemed legit. There was some little video snippets you could shove into your video about Pellegrino water, but they weren't demanding you use them. There was... You kept going down the path. There was a file that was labeled suggested script or script suggestions. And that was kind of made difficult to read. And I think that was part of the bait. Because then you put some effort into how to open this file to get to what it was. And when you get right down to it, it wasn't readable. And now I know it wasn't readable. That saves them from having to actually write script suggestions. And that'll make sense in a minute. And then I go a little bit deeper, and there was a file labeled the contract. and it was an executable file, and I stupidly clicked on it. Bang! The computer just blew up. And, you know, I'm not totally a babe in the woods with cyber stuff. You know, I was a programmer. I did operating system work. So I immediately shut off the Wi-Fi. So the computer was just to itself. And then I started the battle, and I was losing the battle. I was concerned it was a ransomware attack where they were going to encrypt all my files. But, well, it turns out I don't think it was. But it was taking over the computer. It was taking over first all my tools that would let me go in. I mean, even Task Manager was not available to me. So I let that go for a little while. Then I decided, okay, defensive actions. So I grabbed the fastest, biggest video memory I have, which happens to be the memory I use in this recording device, and slammed it into the computer and just downloaded stuff that was absolutely precious. As soon as that download was done, I shut the computer off. I rebooted it, you know, beyond the operating system, and reinstalled the operating system immediately. So that stopped all executable files, and it seemed to have stopped the process. Of course, I deleted the zip file and the decompress of the zip file, and that seemed okay. And it's like, oh wow, that could have been worse. Okay, well, I solved it. It means I'm going to have to install all new apps, which is a little more difficult than you can imagine. In the past, it would have been easier, but I have a lot of very difficult to install things that let me do the electrical engineering for BankManager and the software engineering for BankManager. And I still have to finish doing those installations, you know, plus all my YouTube tools. But that's together because I was able to put a video together. Okay, went to bed. You know, water heater, cyber attack, that's enough for one day. Woke up the next morning, jostled my cell phone as one does, which kind of wakes up my cell phone, and it goes ta-ding, ta-ding, ta-ding as it does, and I looked. And right at the top of the list is your password on an account was changed in Germany. Oh, God. So I dove into it, and that was another absolute hell of a day of trying to stop a process. I immediately changed all passwords on everything. Realized that computer also had access to my investment account, which is, you know, enough to live on, so a lot. It had access to all the company stuff, that is the YouTube channel, which might not sound like that much, you know, PayPal and such, but it's also all the income from BankManager sales. I actually haven't done income to myself. I've just left it in the company because I didn't have an immediate need for cash, and I don't want to get into the stock market right now. I think things are high. So there was a lot of money on the table, and I was quite concerned. So I changed all those passwords. I got that all locked down. It's looking pretty good. It looks like what they got is the Google account that is called Emily and Clark's Adventure. They got that completely. So that email address is out of my hands. There is no way to get it back as far as I know. If you know of a way, tell me. But if you just have an idea, don't bother me. I don't think there's a way. My idea is Gmail has so many Gmail addresses. They just don't provide that service. They have an automated service to roll back, basically, if you lost your password. But these guys are pros, and they made enough changes and churning and everything. It looks like nothing that I've ever known about biometrics, nothing is still attached to this account. Bad news is that owned the Google Drive that all of my stuff is in, all of my, I don't know, there's a lot there, having to do mostly with BankManager. Luckily, and this was actually Emily's idea, so thank you, Emily. We have shared over the years over email links to what turns out to be the most important documents. So using those emails, we were able to get in as, you know, somebody that was a trusted user, like other people, got them to go in, for example, and copy these files. So I have copies of things that are absolutely vital. for the most part. I know for the next couple of years, it's like, oh God, I wish I wouldn't have lost that. I have to recreate that from scratch. I have apparently lost control of, well, I want to go into all of it because some of it could be bait for the people who now have it, you know, kind of telling them what's there. Generally, they got very little from me, from their point of view. They got nothing financial, and they did not get any control over the YouTube channel itself, which was the terror, because I actually have that under the ownership of a different email account that nobody knows but me, and apparently, and I've changed the passwords, and I seem to have full control over that. So that at least is safe. They can't use this channel for nefarious reasons. So anyway, that was kind of it. I thought it was all over. I did the video to warn everybody, hey, I've been hit. Don't trust, you know, stuff coming in from that address. And then last night, I got basically the exact same email for Doritos, wanting me to promote Doritos. And then I realized, you know, there's other people out there that are going to see these. So if you're an influencer and you get asked by some well-known brand to download a zip file, not in the first email, but in the second email, to download a zip file that says everything you need to be able to have a payoff for mentioning them in a video, just don't do it. Like I said, it's been St. Pellegrino and Doritos to me so far, but they could do anything very easily with this same model. So be on the watch for that. The reason for this video is to try to save other influencers from going through the same thing that I've had to go through. It's not fun. It could have been so much worse. And I believe that the attackers, you know, after the automated did its magic to make the accounts unavailable to me, probably reported a big list of them to the actual attackers, and they probably threw me down the bottom of the list because there's no financials available, there's no channel available. But you might not be so lucky. You might not get the machine shut down as quickly as I did. Anyway, don't do it. It kind of been having a bad summer, let's say. A lot of stress from the divorce, which caused a lot of health issues. You know how that works. And didn't need this. Well, bye from Clark on Temptress. After this, we're going to get right back to the normal kinds of videos. Going to do a battery review. I know some of you love them and some of you hate them. I'm going to do a video on how to use the Bank Manager as a charge controller. It wouldn't work for everybody because the Bank Manager isn't the cheapest thing in the world, but it basically takes any power supply and lets it turn into the best charge controller possible for lithium iron phosphate batteries. Why it may be useful is it's something to do on the side with your Bank Manager if you already own one for other reasons. But the main reason I'm doing it is some people have bought Bank Manager Gen 1s and Gen 2s, and they really want a Gen 3. They bought a Gen 3, and you know, what are they going to do with the older ones? Might be able to sell on the used market. They're still good, but now I'm going to have a new suggestion. You can use it as a device to offline charge your lithium iron phosphate batteries. So I guess that's about it. Bye from Clark on Temptress.